This is where the trail officially splits to go east or west around Orlando. If you go straight through that gate right there, that is the eastern route. You go up this road here is the western route. I'm going west. You can kind of see, this is standing from the road up here. That bus, it's like one of those tour buses, and I don't know, about 15 or 20 people just got out of it with big fancy cameras and everything. So I assume some kind of wildlife photographers, probably birds. You can kind of see on in there, a few of them anyway, but not the kind of vehicle I expected to see at the trailhead. Pulled up right as we got there, so not sure what group they would be with. But there's a bunch of them. So it's 26 miles on this one road all the way to St. Cloud. And the first 14 miles of that is kind of like this. Looks like a bunch of nothing around it. And then it like crosses like a major freeway or the main highway into like Orlando or something. And then after that, the last 10 or 12 miles, looks like it slowly gets more and more suburban until you're kind of right in the middle of the city. And right when I got to that trailhead back there, a guy pulled up in a pickup truck. You know, I was taking off my rain jacket and stuff because it was warming up. Pulled up, he says, "Hey, are you going into town?" He's asking if I was all right and stuff. And I was like, "Well, eventually." He says, "Well, if you need a ride, I'm going." So it's definitely tempting to take a free, unsolicited ride to exactly where I was going and avoid a very long 30-mile day and 26 or 27 of it being on a paved road. But, you know, had he asked me if I was 25 miles into this, I probably would have said yeah, but so still walking on this road. It's been about 3 hours and definitely can feel my blisters and a little bit of a Achilles soreness. Not sure if that's just from doing the road walk or if it's from just hiking in general, fatigue. Trying to walk on this grass as much as I can to get a little bit of relief, but it is a little bit slower. I was just thinking that maybe I should have taken the ride. It's always a little strange to get an unsolicited offer like that, and so kind of like when I got the golf cart ride, and then from there a lady stops right afterwards and offers me a ride all the way to Okeechobee. It was just kind of like, well, I kind of needed both of those rides and I didn't solicit it, so it seemed like it was a gift. So it's kind of the same thing with this, except it was literally right at the beginning of the day and I was feeling fine. And you know, when somebody offers you a ride like that, you kind of have to make a decision on the spot. You can't sit there and think, well, do I want to skip? Because once you skip it, you can't go back. And I kind of just, at the moment, decided I didn't want to skip it, I wanted to walk it. But it would have given me a free zero. Not free monetarily, like I still would have paid for a hotel and all that, but it would have got me off my feet for a day. Like, I'm literally only, like, I did the 3 miles of trail to where that guy stopped. From that spot all the way to town was just 26 miles on a road. So, you know, normally, like I said, I don't mind hiking the road walks. I think it's part of the trail. It's part of the experience, but particularly with this trail, it's kind of hard to find places to take zeros. There's not a lot of hotels. There's not a lot of hostels. Even the campgrounds and things are expensive to stay at. So there are a few churches that will let you. There are a few churches that will let you stay at their property for free or donations, but you know, I could have got into town, you know, probably like at 8 or 9:30. Could have charged up at a McDonald's or something, ate breakfast, maybe found an early check into a hotel, did my resupply and everything, and been done for the day at 11 o'clock, and I could, you know, take a shower, relax, wash my feet, you know, take care of them and all that, and be kind of fresh and ready to go tomorrow morning. And you know, maybe I would have been better off. So I just passed the C-34 canal, which is where the other hikers I was with are gonna stealth camp. Forgot to take a video of it when I was there, but it's kind of the only real good option there is. So it's like a really big canal, and then it's kind of like tree lined on both sides, and you can just kind of like walk down a quarter mile out of view and kind of, I mean, if somebody looked over there during the day, they'd see you, obviously, but if you're there and at dark, you know, nobody's headlights are going to shine that way because it's perpendicular to the road, and you know, you'd be hidden enough. So it's about 15 or 16 miles from where we camped last night, and I thought about going there. I just left there. It's 2:30 when I got there, a little bit before, and ultimately like my phone is almost dead. It's got 40%. My power bank died last night from the cold, so I'm running out of power, and I have enough food to, like, if I stayed there, to make it, but it's more about my feet. I really kind of need to get to where I can clean them and put like antibacterial ointment and dry them out and all that stuff, because like I have 3 socks, and dirt is and sand and gravel is literally getting into like my blisters, like where the skins come off. So I'm just worried about it, like, one, getting infected, but also just that sand and gravel just rubbing on like the raw skin underneath, just making it worse. So I don't know if I'll take a zero or not, but I want to get into where I can take care of them and at least like try to prevent it from getting worse. The blisters on the back of my heels that I originally got were much easier to heal because I could like physically alter my shoes or like wear the Crocs that don't even touch that part of my foot, as well as it's very easy to put a band-aid there and keep it covered, and nothing really comes in direct contact with it. The ones I've had the most trouble with are the ones on the bottom of my feet, because no matter what you do, no matter how many socks you wear or how good your insoles are or what kind of shoes, like, you're walking on your feet all day, so it's constantly like putting pressure on those blisters, and like everything I do to like try to help it or fix it kind of gets undone the next day when I'm walking on it. And like I'll try to, it's hard to clean them because there's no streams out here to like wash your feet. All you have is the very little drinking water that you carry from like cache to cache. So it's hard to wash them, and without washing them, you know, you can't really sanitize your feet that good to clean the area. I don't really have anything to wipe my feet with, like if I did wash them, to like keep them clean. So you end up kind of just spreading dirt and mud and dirty water all over your feet. And when I put cream on it, like it kind of just gets like falls off or knocked off, like because you're in your sleeping bag, or if you try to put a sock on to protect it, the sock like absorbs it. It doesn't really stay on. Whereas like if I was at a hotel, you know, I can sit there with my feet propped up on a pillow. I can get an ice bucket. I can let them air out. I don't have to walk anywhere. You can obviously clean them a lot better. You're in town, so if you need to grab some kind of like Epsom salt or anything like that, you can grab it and like properly take care of it. So it's just, I need to do something like that, because like I said, it's really hard to take care of them, you know, in the backcountry. And it's also in a spot where it's like on the ball of your foot. There's like in between your toes. There's not a good, like, there's no Band-Aid in the world that like fits in that spot to keep it covered. So it's just, it's hard. So I'm gonna try. It's gonna be a long day, like probably 6:30 is done hiking, then I still got to get to the hotel and shower and do all that stuff. But it's, yeah, I might take a zero tomorrow, depending on what I can get done tonight and what they look like and how they feel. The guys that I'm hiking with are basically gonna go into town tomorrow, so not that I'm necessarily like having to stick with them, but I won't get behind. I don't really like the fact of having to spend even one night in a hotel that I don't really need to. The weather's good and all that, much less have to spend two. That's why I wanted to go east to get to Christmas and get to that church, because, you know, I could camp out there forever and basically have all the luxuries of a hotel, and, you know, take 2 or 3 zeros if I need to and get healed up. But seeing as how I'm going on the western route now, it's a lot less well traveled, and I don't think any of those churches or anything like is on this side. So yeah, the only thing I can think of is take care of your feet, especially the bottoms and that kind of stuff, because like I said, if you're literally walking on it, it's hard to heal when you're walking on it. You need to rest. The things that you got to keep in mind on these roads is obviously walk on the against traffic so you can see them coming, but as you can see, there's no double line here, and people often pass each other on these roads. And the one thing, when cars are passing each other, they're speeding up, and the car that's passing is looking for other cars ahead, not necessarily pedestrians walking in the road. So even if you're walking here and you don't see any cars in front of you, I would never walk out in the middle of the lane. I've had people even, you know, going same direction as me, for whatever reason, trying to be assholes or just not paying attention, swerve like halfway into this lane, and had you been standing there, you probably would have got hit. So it's always dangerous walking these roads. And like I said, I either walk the line or I try to walk in the grass right here at the edge. Safest place to be. And usually you can hear the cars coming behind you, so that's always a indicator. If only one of these was at the end of every 25-mile road walk. So I have my Taco Bell. I ordered extra so that I don't have to walk out of the hotel or take Ubers out of the hotel. Since I'm already spending money on the hotel, I trying to save it where I can. So this will basically be my breakfast if I decide to hike tomorrow. And maybe like, I don't know, I have a lot of food in here, like maybe 6 burritos, like big burritos. But anyway, I'll eat this tonight or tomorrow morning, maybe pack some of it out if I hike tomorrow. But if I don't hike tomorrow and I zero, this is gonna be kind of what holds me over all day or most of the day. And I've got about 4 miles to the hotel, and I'm kind of taking a little bit of a detour. Basically where that Taco Bell was, the trail finally gets off this, I think it's called Old Canoe Road, and it follows something else and kind of goes to the outskirts of St. Cloud. And if I follow that, it's like another 4 miles to like where it starts like turning left away from St. Cloud and going toward Orlando. So I figured it's all on roads regardless. So I'm just gonna walk 4 miles straight to the hotel, and I'm gonna count that as you know, in the spirit of I did all the way up to the turn off or whatever. And then I think when I start, I'll technically have skipped 4 miles of trail. Like I said, I'm counting this 4 miles walk to the hotel. It's on a parallel road. It's on the same road I've been walking all day. So I'm counting this 4 miles as the 4 miles that I'm technically skipping. And then when I start tomorrow or whenever, I'm gonna skip up to the 4 miles and start walking towards Orlando. There is an option. I could just start from the hotel. I'm not sure how far the hotel is from the junction. It's probably roughly 3 or 4 miles. So I might walk from the hotel. I don't know. But as you can tell, it's getting dark. It's getting a lot more populated. All the way up until you get about 8 miles from what I'm calling the junction or the turn. It was pretty rural. There was like grass fields and cows and stuff, and there was like, as you got closer and closer, like past the canal, there'd be a couple of like sod businesses and like maybe a few rural like residential homes and stuff. But once you got past, there was one particular intersection that had a Dollar General on it, about, I don't know, 6 miles out from the junction. After that, it kind of turns into this, where it's very residential, very commercial. You're on a sidewalk instead of walking on that road, etc. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be close to a 30 mile today. I'm probably not going to get in till like maybe 7:30. I'm kind of hobbling, going a little bit slower. So I got a room at the Hunter Arms Hotel. It was the cheapest one I could find in St. Cloud. It was like $97 after all the taxes. So if I could split it with someone, it would be nice. But I said they're all camping back at the canal, which, you know, like I said, if my feet weren't hurting, didn't have 30% of my battery left, etc., I probably would have done that and just came in tomorrow. But I kind of want to keep hiking with them, and by getting here today, it gives me the opportunity to take a zero and kind of rest my feet, and then hike out together. So that's kind of the plan for now. This is not the first time that this has happened on this road and in a small stretch of it. You're walking on a sidewalk. I know it's probably a little hard to see in the dark, and then it just like magically disappears right there off into a ditch, and then You gotta like come out here and walk in the road. And then sometimes they don't even put the sidewalk back for like half a mile. You just gotta walk in the grass, hope the cars see you, and hope the sidewalk reappears somewhere. Probably can't see anything, but I'm about to walk off the edge. Probably why they don't route the trail down this road, I'm guessing, is because there's nowhere to walk.